Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to go and look at a GoPro camera and how to attach it to your hat. So there's a lot of ways to do it. I just tried to simplify it a little bit and show you one that really works well for me. Alright guys, before I start showing you how we're going to attach this GoPro mount to your hat, I'm going to show you what you need. You're going to need some zip ties, little small ones like this. You're going to need a soldering iron that has a nice small tip like this that can burn through the hat. If you don't have a soldering iron, then you need way smaller than a 1/4 inch, an 1/8 drill bit. You can drill a hole through it, or you could use a knife, but I wouldn't really recommend that. So soldering iron is the best. You're going to need a pair of pliers or dikes or something that has the cutting edge so that you can cut your zip ties, and you're going to need some cement. So the very first thing you want to do is pick out the proper hat. If you've seen most videos, I didn't invent this, I just kind of messed around with it. Most people put their GoPro, they buy a tripod mount, they drill a hole through there, and they put their GoPro case up like this. So they look for a hat that has a really stiff bill, but the problem is, these little hats here, they're very flimsy. They got this type of connection going on. You really have to strap them hard because all the weight's on your bill and it's making your hat squash down like that. So that hat's out. Of course, the next hat up would be something with a really stiff bill like I was telling you they have. And this does have a good stiff front, and we're looking for that. But here again, if you're looking at this hat, this is a 100% cotton hat. It's got the adjustable strap like the other one. You really can't tighten it good, and it doesn't fit your head real good. It's going to, slide. So the hat that I came up with is this hat here. Of course, I can't use this one because that's the beloved Florida Gators. So I came up with this hat, which is the same company, but it's a company called Z Hats. Z is in zebra hats. And what the deal is, this is like 97% acrylic and 3% spandex. So you have this wide band that stretches, and it stretches pretty good. And of course this stuff stretches just a hair too. When you put this hat on, I don't know if you can see this, but it really fits your head good, and it's not going anywhere. It's snug. So that's real important because you don't want your hat to be sliding down like this. Now I'm going to take this off. The bracket that I'm using, you don't have to use this bracket. You can use any L-shaped bracket with your GoPro. But this one came off of that, that head strap assembly that they give you. It has like 1-inch wide elastic bands that go around the side of your head and over the top of your head, and you look like you came from the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or you just had brain surgery. Didn't somebody like Edward Scissorhands have all that thing, or Nightmare Before Christmas when they had all the teeth sticking out? No, nobody wants to see that. I mean, come on, GoPro. You're making cameras for people that do all the cool stuff. They're the hippest people on the planet, snowboarding and flying around in squirrel suits, and you're going to give them something that looks like that? Really? That's dumb. Anyways, this has 4 slots in it, okay? If you don't have the 4 slots, you need a drill bit on your mount to put 4 slots. The reason I picked this hat is, as you can see, this is going over a logo. So when you go to this company, these hats are about 25 bucks, but you can get them on eBay and all different places, for like 10 bucks, 15 bucks, whatever. But that big embroidered logo is good because once I, put those holes in there and put these zip ties on, it really has a nice backing. Now when this hat's on my head, it doesn't go anywhere. So it's real simple. You basically hold your fitting in place. Okay, you take your heated up soldering iron and you just go right to the side where you want it and try to stay in a straight line and do another one, and you put 4 on the outside. Then you take this off and you just go, if you put a hole right here, you just go over 1/4 inch or so and put another hole. On this side, on the outside, you go over 1/4 inch or so and put another one. So now you have 8 holes. You put this in place, you put a zip tie down that way, and it's sticking up like that, then you put it back down through that way, and you snug them all up, but you don't tighten them. You make sure this is in the proper position, and you use your little snippers here, you pull them tight, and then you cut them off with the little cutters. Now that looks kind of ugly, but you know, when you have the GoPro camera sitting up there, it's going to block most of that. It also has a good backing here. Like I said, it's not going anywhere. So now when you have your GoPro camera in place, you can see you have plenty enough room if you want to use a different model GoPro. I just happen to have the 4 silver, so you can use a different, you know, container for your GoPro, the one with the piggyback door or whatever, for a second battery if you want. I always carry second batteries. I'm not a fan of hooking other stuff, you know, to the hat. I actually have a battery pack around somewhere that I got free from Magic Jack. You can watch that video, but I carry that, so if that battery goes bad, I can just put the Magic Jack battery and charge it up. Obviously, this is waterproof, but if you got a different case, yours may not be. You know, so if you're actually in the water, you know, this is a good hat because it's really snug. You know, if you're up to your neck, but if you're just outside, up on the beach area, then you can just put a regular camera frame or something. The only downside is you got to figure a way to rig up some kind of a microphone. So the GoPro cameras do have the little USB ports. Rode makes a microphone, GoPro makes a microphone. The only thing I would suggest is to get the ones that have the little arrow like this and point this way. And when you do that, get that dead cat. The dead cat is great for the air, or you know, at least get the foam on it. But once you have it up here and you point it down like this, if you're looking like, you know, your hat's like this and you just angle it right, you can see it's kind of pointed down, so it'll show everything in front of you. But when you look down to your scoop, it's looking right at it when you're digging up. If you're looking forward, it's not, so you can just play with the angle. You don't have to worry the bill won't be shown. What I do is, you know, I'm looking at an object like this with my eyes, and if I'm talking about it, I might lift it up just a little bit because I know the line of sight, just a little bit, and then that way you can show people, you know, a little bit better. So once you have that in place, okay, it's all sitting there nice and it's square, you cinch these down. The last thing I do is I take a little glue, and where these holes were, this is a clear glue. You want to make sure this is just a Duco cement from the hardware store. But it's a nice clear cement, and I put a couple dabs here on each of these, just right here where the cloth, where it burnt through, or you cut through, because I don't want all these threads to come out. And this little zip tie, that little end there, is great. You don't want to use super glue because it'll dry real fast and then you'll get this stuck. But with this kind of cement, you have that glob of glue on either side, and I just kind of push it. Okay, and I push these little threads underneath here. You see how that's going underneath? I just pushed all those threads, so now the glue is going to dry, and it is dry. I don't have to worry about the threads coming undone. And all in all, it looks pretty good when it's mounted up. So, you know, that's kind of my tips for today. It's easy to do. It's very cost effective. It doesn't require a lot of skill. And once you put it in place with the little screw, which I have no idea where I do that little screw, you know, you're set to go. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, there'll probably be another one popping up over here for you to watch. Or you can always hit our subscribe button that pops up here, or the little button down there. Don't forget, leave your comments down below, and I'll try to answer you when I can. So you have a great day. Like our video, share it on Facebook or your favorite social site, and we'll catch you the next time around.